Et salut tout le monde, c'est Damoclès, j'espère que vous allez bien. On se retrouve aujourd'hui pour un nouvel épisode de Genshin Impact. On se retrouve du coup dans le cadre de la quête d'Oimiya. Alors attendez. Ok, c'est bon. On se retrouve du coup dans le cadre de la quête d'Oimiya. On doit rencontrer Kuishi du coup pour continuer la fabrication des feux d'artifice. Donc on va faire ça, écoutez. Alors, on devrait finir cette quête aujourd'hui et normalement, après on devra avoir la rencontre avec la fameuse Shogun Raiden. On devra pouvoir continuer l'histoire principale. Donc on va voir ça. En tout cas, j'espère que vous allez bien. On se retrouve évidemment à faire ce live là, enfin cet épisode sur Twitch comme d'habitude. Donc n'hésitez pas à rejoindre, de même que le serveur Discord, grâce au lien que vous avez en description de vidéo. Je rappelle que on joue à de nombreux jeux, enfin un peu moins en ce moment, mais ça nous arrive de jouer à Genshin Impact hors live. Parce qu'évidemment, à ce moment-là, quand l'épisode sortira, je serai niveau 45, voire bien au-delà. Et éventuellement aussi de jouer à Mario Kart, de discuter de tout un tas de choses, donc n'hésitez pas. C'est une bonne ambiance et tout, donc voilà. Alors par contre, il y a juste un truc que je voulais voir, c'était ça. Voilà. Puis la travant, la pioche nutritive d'ailleurs, que Sino m'avait demandé par mettre au dernier épisode, on l'avait pas fait. Alors comment ça fonctionne? Ajouter un plan de restauration de PV. Alors, voilà, c'est là. On va mettre ça. Hop. Le plat de réanimation. 150 PV, 10% des PV max. On va mettre un 9 en vrai. C'est le... Ah, on en a pas beaucoup par contre. Hein. Ouais, on va peut-être passer à la cuisine vite fait en vrai. La cuisine, il y en a une qui est juste là, il me semble. Ouais, c'est là. On va essayer d'en faire quelques-uns parce que là, c'est un peu la... C'est un peu la dèche quand même. On va en faire une vingtaine. Hop. Parfait. Et au niveau des poulets, pareil. On va en faire quelques-uns. Poulet, tac. On a largement de quoi en faire. On va en faire, je dirais, une petite cinquantaine. C'est plus facile dans les cas où tu n'as pas de healer. Ouais, tu m'étonnes. En vrai, on va en faire... on peut en faire 14 de toute façon. On a largement de quoi faire. Voilà. Nickel. Sauf qu'il faut faire des plats. C'est ça. Mais en vrai, c'est pratique quand même. C'est pratique comme ça au moins. En fait, c'est quand ton perso il meurt, en fait, il se réanime automatiquement. En fait, ça. J'ai l'impression. Enfin, c'est ça que... Si j'ai bien compris le fonctionnement. En gros, tu utilises juste ta sacoche et ça le restaure entièrement, quoi. Hop, nickel.
Just as I thought, he isn't back yet. But not to worry, because actually, I've been hoping for a chance to have a nice long chat with you all day. Sorry for dragging you with me everywhere. Everyone's been so good to me, though. It's all gone really smoothly.
Feels like Paimon has barely spoken a word this whole trip.
C'est agréable d'écouter en silence.
I felt like I was neglecting you guys, so I wanted to find an opportunity to catch up.
Toujours raccourci de la sacoche et hop, c'est reparti. Oh, c'est nickel ça.
When we first met, I was in a hurry. We didn't have the chance to sit down and have a proper chat. You guys are travelers, right? So, where else did you go before coming to Inazuma?
Liyue, la cité des contrats.
I haven't been to Liyue before, but from what I've heard from Miss Beidou, it sounds like a really interesting place.
Beidou, elle connaît plein de monde.
But something big happened there recently, right? Didn't their Archon leave all of a sudden?
Yeah, a lot of crazy things went down as a result. Luckily, everyone worked together to stave off a huge disaster that could have wiped out the whole city.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. I gotta say, it's pretty remarkable that the citizens managed to step up and keep things going even after their Archon left. I mean, I sure can't imagine Inazuma without the Shogun. My friend once said to me that only people with a strong will and a clear purpose decide to go traveling. Maybe it's to see a certain view or to fulfill a certain wish. So, what made you guys embark on your treacherous journey to Inazuma?
Pour trouver une divinité hostile.
And to find a lost family member, too.
You were separated from your family because of a god? Oh, that must be really tough.
Je m'y habitue peu à peu.
I get it. Well, if that's how it is, then that's how it is. You know, I was going to ask if you guys wanted to stay here in Inazuma. Unlike the outside world, what Inazuma seeks is eternity. In other words, a state of tranquility where very little ever changes.
En fait, ça, c'est vraiment l'aspect qui se dégage d'Inazuma, c'est isolé du monde et c'est vraiment, ça a l'air vraiment, en fait, c'est vraiment apaisant en fait comme zone.
The advantage of that is that if you're ever tired from your journey, Inazuma's a great place to come and rest. Let me put it this way. I was just worried that you might be getting weary. If you keep pressing on in that state, you might start to lose sight of the things that made you want to start your journey in the first place.
Sometimes. That's also just how it is.
When you're exhausted, everything becomes an uphill struggle. Even trying to have fun. You won't be able to enjoy yourself if you're too tired. An adventurer friend of mine once told me that if you're too focused on reaching the end of the race, you'll miss a lot of opportunities and precious moments to be had along the way.
Je garderai ça en tête.
Don't worry though, I'm sure I can think of something to get you feeling relaxed and happy. And you're here now, so even if you're gonna leave eventually, I want to make sure you at least leave with fond memories. Who knows? Once you're reunited with your family, maybe you'll find Inazuma the right kind of place to call home.
Je vais la mettre sur la liste des candidats alors.
I already have an idea of the color and type of fireworks I want to give you guys. I'll keep it a secret for now, though.
Avant Fontaine, c'est ma zone préférée Inazuma. Ah, bon, on verra bien.
Yoimiya, I'm back. Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's head over to the boat.
Fontaine, ça a l'air très majestueux en
Keep
fait.
chatting a little longer?
Ça, en fait, ici c'est beaucoup plus dépaysant, mais enfin, Fontaine, ça a vraiment l'air d'être waouh. Nous venions juste de terminer notre conversation.
Okay, good. Let's go then. Just act naturally, though we don't want to raise any suspicion.
If it can withstand the storms out on the ocean, it must be super sturdy, right?
Absolutely. Rest assured that the quality is guaranteed.
Le mec, il a construit un galion. Confirmer l'état du bateau.
That's way too small.
Mais c'est robuste.
Can't be helped, I'm afraid. This is the biggest and sturdiest boat that I can provide. It's built from the finest Inazuman timber. Still, I'll be the first to admit that if he's planning to ride this into the storm, it's going to be exceedingly dangerous.
I'm also hoping Sakajiro won't have to use it. It's just there as a last resort. I gotta say though, Koichi, it feels like your craft has improved once again.
I'm not the one you should be praising. It's all thanks to the guys who kindly pitched in. To avoid detection, we each worked on our own materials separately, then assembled them secretly in the night. This is the largest we could afford to build. Any bigger and there's no way it would pass the Tenryou Commission's inspection.
Let's store the boat here for now then. I'll fill Sakajiro in when I get back. He'll need to make some preparations before setting sail.
Uh-oh. Paimon feels really worried all of a sudden. Doesn't helping Sakajiro make you a collaborator in the eyes of the Tenryou Commission?
Maybe it does, but I knew what I was getting into from the moment I agreed to help him. My family has pretty good connections with the Yashiro Commission. We work very closely with them, and whenever there's a national event of any sort, the other two commissions come to us too. As long as I'm polite and respectful and don't cause a fuss, they won't look to cause trouble for me either. And anyway, to your point about collaboration, you've been helping out too, right?
That's true. This was all a collaborative effort. Wait! Oh no!
On va se faire voir. Ah! On va se faire mal voir Inazuma aussi.
Ah, so you're seasoned crooks already, eh? Don't know what I was worried about then. Anyway, thanks for everything, Koichi. And your fireworks are ready, so just go pick them up from my house whenever you want. While you're there, you can get my pops to settle the boat construction fees.
Oh, don't worry about paying anything. Third Sis would be sure to scold me if she found out I'd taken Mora from the Naganoharas.
Who's Third Sis?
Oh, let me explain this one. It's a story my pops told me. There used to be a thriving merchants guild in Inazuma. It got really prosperous. At one point, there were a dozen or so kids born around the same time to the families of the guild. They all grew up together, each of them learning their respective family's business. They were a tightly knit group of friends, but eventually, they all grew up and decided they each wanted to go into business themselves. It was inevitable that business would send them all to different corners of the world, and that they'd have far less opportunity to see each other in the future.
That's right. Just before we went our separate ways, the eldest of the group suggested that we should all go watch some fireworks together one last time.
They were all very ambitious types, and each had their own knack for doing business. One by one, they left, until Koichi was the only one of them remaining in Inazuma. After that, he hardly saw them. But whenever one of them did come back to visit, fireworks would always be involved.
Yeah, no matter how close you and your friends are, there's always gonna be some distance after being separated for a long time. But as soon as the fireworks lit up the sky, it'd instantly take us right back to our childhood, and we'd be chatting away like in the old days. To us, those memories are eternal.
Oh, so this is what you meant when you were talking about commemorating things.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's why I can't let people down when they're counting on me for their fireworks. Anyway, I need to go update Sakujiro. See you, Koichi. Thanks again for your help.
Yeah, I should get out of here too. I don't want to get caught red-handed.
Okay, story
Ok,
time.
très bien.
So, whenever Koichi brings one of his friends from the trade association,
Par contre, elle
to
s'est
me,
pété les genoux
he'll
tirant
share
la
how
vache.
he used to play with me when I was a kid, or held me once as a baby, or something. But there are so many of them in that friendship group, and I don't remember anything from that age anyway. So I
Je vais juste essayer ça,
don't
du
have a
coup.
clue who they are.
Ah, c'est tellement pratique
He
en vrai.
shows up with another one of his friends, and the friend asks me if I remembered him. So I'm
En
like,
fait, c'est comme les
yes,
filles
I
dans
do.
Zelda, en fait, ça permet de
Once
capturer
when I
des
was
filles, en
just a
fait.
baby. Koichi just bursts out laughing and says, actually, this is one of his carpenter friends. Turns out he's a lot younger than he looks. Just a few years older than me. I went bright red and must have apologized like a million times. It was so embarrassing.
Et du coup, on va pouvoir aller ici. C'est pas bon? Si, si, c'est bien.
The boat is
C'est bien.
ready and waiting. I'll mark the location for you on the map. Before you leave, I recommend that you pack some food and water. You can never be too prepared.
After how much effort it took to get back in, it's hard to convince myself to leave again. Especially when I'll be going up against the stormy ocean on a tiny little boat.
Well, they won't look much better if you get caught by the Tenryou Commission. I'm afraid that sooner or later they are going to find you here. Time is starting to run out.
I'm sorry. I'll make sure to get out of here before they come. I promise I won't cause you and your family any more trouble.
I didn't mean it like that. If we ever ran into any problems, I'm sure I'd figure something out. But if the Tenryou Commission does catch up to you, then make a run for the boat.
Okay, I won't let them catch me. But... no, I guess this whole trip was a waste in the end.
Why did you want to come back to Inazuma anyway? Is there something you wanted to do?
I didn't used to like this place at all. That's why I left. But looking back on things now, I was really just running away from my responsibilities. Once I started to realize that, I got restless. I couldn't stop thinking about the people and the things I'd left behind. So forget it. What does it matter now? It's too late anyway. I originally wanted to make up for all my regrets, but instead, I found myself in the situation I'm in now.
What a pity.
Talk to us about it. Maybe we could...
If only there was no Sakoku decree, huh? Anyway, don't worry. We're not going to bother you about it. We'll keep trying to buy you as much time as possible until you reach your final decision. The Tenryou Commission. If only they weren't so overzealous, there might be a way. Oh, that's right! That elderly couple, old customers of ours, Their son's in the Tenryu Commission, isn't he? Yeah, quite high up as well. That's it. I'll go talk to them. Maybe they can do something.
Are you sure they won't just report me instead?
Oh, don't worry about that. They're really nice people. I know them well. They won't cause us any issues. All right. You should get back indoors, Sakajiro. We'll be back in no time at all. Okay, let's go. Time waits for no one. Wait, hang on. What about the fireworks? All those materials? There's so many orders to finish. Pops! Pops! No, never mind. I know. I'll write him a note telling him to sort out the fireworks.
Yamiya finit d'écrire la note à la hâte. Ah ouais, j'ai même pas le temps d'écrire.
Because what he needs isn't an answer, just time.
Et le vieux couple, il se trouve. Ah bah c'est c'est là qu'on avait aidé, c'est les deux vieux, non? Du village de Konda. Ouais, c'est la petite mamie et le petit papy.
Well, if it isn't Yoimiya, come on in, dear. Come and take a seat. Are these two your friends?
Yes, they're travelers from afar. Outsiders have a very difficult time getting into Inazuma nowadays.
Indeed, these are unprecedented times. But seeing as they came all this way, we locals should give them a warm welcome.
Oh, before I forget, I brought the fireworks that you ordered.
Oh, thank you, dear. Your family is so good to us every year. First your father, and now you.
J'aime bien le fait que les personnages principaux dans Genshin, en fait, ils ont tous des grands yeux, alors que les personnages, les PNJ, les PNJ ont des yeux plutôt normaux, entre guillemets.
I wonder if I'll still be around to see the next hair of Naganahara fireworks.
Of course you will. You're both in great health. Don't say things like that. It's bad luck.
We aren't as young as we once were, though. The body knows it. It used to be that I could spend all day working the land, carrying water back and forth. But now, even a moment of light work leaves me with all sorts of aches and pains. I wanted to do some weeding yesterday, but as soon as I bent down to get started, I suddenly felt that if I went any further, I wouldn't be able to get back up again.
No worries. Say no more. We'll handle it.
No, no, no. We can't be putting you to work when you're a guest in our home. I'll just go fetch the tea and some snacks, and then we'll continue our conversation.
It's fine. It's not like it's the first time I've helped you with chores. I just haven't had much time recently with the fireworks show coming up. But once that's out of the way, I'll be sure to come by more often.
It's no trouble, really. We don't mind helping.
Oh, you're such good kids. As for mine, he's all grown up now. Hasn't found anyone yet. And he doesn't visit very often. If you're quite sure it's no trouble, then I have some pickled radish here. Would you mind delivering it to Satoru on the other side of the village?
Sure. It won't take us a moment. The old folks aren't very mobile, so come on, let's help them out. We'll get rid of the weeds first, and then deliver the pickled radish.
On va désherber avec notre épée, non? Oui, d'accord, oui. Voilà, là c'est pas désherber, là, c'est carrément ils ont laissé pousser des buissons, là, carrément. On va désherber un peu plus. Hop. Mec, il rase tous les buissons du village. Et du coup maintenant il faut donner leur radis mariné à Satoru.
you been? Keeping well?
Yeah, same as usual. Not much has changed. You're looking full of life.
All thanks to the support of our loyal customers. The family business just keeps getting better and better. We sold some fireworks to Liu a while back, and word is they were a real hit. So it looks like we'll be getting more business from over there in the future.
Il y a juste un truc que je vois. On est d'accord.
That must mean a lot more work for you, though. Are you sure you and Mr. Ryunosuke can manage? If it gets too much, don't forget, you can always ask me for help.
We should be fine. I think we can cope. Oh, yeah. This is some pickled radish from Mrs. Imatani.
Oh, wow, thank you so much. I never used to be a fan of pickled radish, would you believe? But then I tried some of Mrs. Imatani's homemade stuff and I couldn't get enough of it. It's a family staple now.
Speaking of your family, how's everyone doing?
They're doing well. We have the occasional heated argument, but I guess that's every family ever. Being close to family is better than never getting to see them, even if it does mean putting up with some conflict. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Imatani seem to have a great relationship, but still, they must get lonely with their child never visiting.
Huh, they didn't seem that way to me. I think they're just used to it. You make a good point, though. I should drop by more often in the future. That way, they won't get so bored.
Par contre, je me dis, il y a un truc qui doit être ultra galère au niveau de Yoimiya quand elle s'habille le matin. Autant le kimono et tout, mais imagine toutes les bandes qu'elle met sur sa poitrine. Putain, ça doit être galère à remettre à chaque fois.
Oh, I'm sure they'd love that. As would all of us in Konda Village. You're always welcome here.
Thank you. Now that we finished all the chores,
Okay,
it's
nice.
time to talk to the Imatanis about Sakujiro.
Du coup, on va retourner voir le papier la mamie. Alors, la télé qui veut s'éteindre, non. Hop, voilà. Petite musique japonaise.
That was quick. Ah, young people are so handy.
Younger people have bundles of energy, and older people have a wealth of wisdom. Each have their strengths.
Speaking of youth, do you know what? It's been 50 years this year.
Oh, so it has. Goodness, how the time flies. You barely notice as the years go by, but then suddenly 50 years have passed.
50 years since what? Some important day?
Depuis qu'ils sont mariés.
Well, if you must know, it was 50 years ago, back in the days when this young lady was still trying to win me over, that...
Oh, stop trying to impress them. We both know you were the one who was hopelessly smitten and desperately trying to win my affection.
Well, maybe you're right. 50 years ago, I proposed to my wife at the Naganahara fireworks show. We've been together ever since.
Je vous envie.
To tell the truth, I was still a little uncertain. I wasn't sure what I was doing when I walked into the Naganahara's shop and ordered my firework. Even as it was rising up into the sky, I still had no clue what I was going to say. But then it exploded, the sky lit up. I looked back at her and saw her eyes twinkling in the light of the fireworks. Before I knew what was happening, apparently, I'd already said it. And, well, she'd said yes.
50 years. In some ways, it's a long time. In others, it's no time at all. Really, it's just a number. But 50 years of being together, now that is something worth commemorating.
I had no idea it was your 50th anniversary. If I'd known, I would have made some extra fancy fireworks just for you.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. We always set off the same firework every year. It wouldn't be the same without it. Seeing that firework go off takes us right back to those days. Even at this age, we still look back with not a single regret.
Ah, what a great relationship they have.
Enough about us, though. Yoimiya, aren't you busy with the fireworks show coming up? Was there something you needed to discuss?
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to talk about, but here goes.
Mia parle de Sakuro, je vais le dire.
Sakujiro.
De Sakujiro Imatani.
Huh? You know him?
He was our boys' best friend when they were young. They were inseparable. They grew up together, shared everything with each other, and went everywhere together. But one day, they had a terrible argument.
Sakujiro seemed to feel that Inazuma was too peaceful, and wanted to see what the outside world was like. But our Keisuke took after his father and mother. He felt that there was nothing wrong at all with being peaceful. You know what children are like. They get terribly worked up about these sorts of things. In the end, Sakujiro stormed off, and that was that.
I see.
Keisuke said nothing to me or my wife about the fight. We could sense that he was very hurt by it, but he didn't want to talk with us about how he was really feeling. Eventually, whether out of pent-up anger or for some other reason, he joined the Tenryou Commission. He rarely comes home anymore.
If it was anything else, I could talk to Keisuke, and I'm sure he'd be willing to help.
La voix du vieux, il avait entendu dire c'est sûr qu'il aurait mieux d'avoir une voix comme ça, mon Dieu.
But since it's Sakujiro, I don't feel there's any way we can get involved.
La grand-mère, elle a pas une voix très très vieille.
What a strange coincidence. Who'd have thought?
I understand now. When I asked Sakujiro why he came back, he just said because of past mistakes and wasn't willing to elaborate. Now I finally understand why he can't decide what to do.
Two best buddies in childhood. One grows up to join the Tenryou Commission, the other grows up to join the Tenryou Commission's most wanted list.
C'est le destin.
Well, no worries. If that's the case, then never mind.
Pour tout l'amour que je dois envers les doubleurs japonais, mais en jap, pour ma santé mentale, Raiden en anglais va me tuer. Ah, je vois, moi.
We can find some other way to help Sakujiro. There's no need to make things difficult for you. This sounds like something for Sakujiro and Keisuke to resolve between themselves.
Est-ce que Raiden, on va l'avoir aujourd'hui au moins?
Yes. It'd be so nice if they could go back to the way things were.
I think after all these years, they ought to let go of their grudges.
C'est vrai que le vieux, il a vraiment une voix de jeune, en fait. Alors ouais, j'ai envie de te dire, j'ai 24 ans. Est-ce que j'ai une voix de quelqu'un de 24 ans? Je pense pas. Informer Sakujiro. On fait beaucoup d'allers-retours entre la cité d'Inazuma et le village à la con, là. On va passer par ici. Oh là. Ça va le drift. Ah. C'est vrai que c'est les derniers épisodes qu'on fait avec. Hein. Demain, on n'en aura plus. On aurait eu la manette collector avant que le putain de réparateur, la con, nous l'ait redonné, quoi. J'espère que ce con-là, il s'est pas trompé d'adresse, vu qu'on a l'air doué.
Yoimiya, something bad's happened. Some people from the Tenryou Commission came by.
Ah merde.
Huh? Why? Do they know? Pops, are you alright? They didn't do anything to you, did they?
I told them the show was starting soon and the place was filled with fireworks, so they shouldn't go in because it's a fire hazard. But they didn't listen. It seemed like they knew Sakujiro was inside. Luckily, Sakujiro heard them coming in time and managed to escape through the window. The Tenryou Commission wasn't able to capture him.
Oh, this is bad news. I don't think Sakujiro had enough time to make his mind up. Pops, did you see where he went? Oh, the Tenryou Commission will definitely be chasing after him.
Avons entendu l'un de leurs noms.
Good point. Names. Reading names. Suddenly showing up like this. Surely it must be Keisuke's doing.
Par contre, un truc qui m'intéresserait de voir, c'est quand on aura fait la scène avec Shogun Raiden, c'est de voir en anglais, enfin en japonais justement, comment ça rend.
The commission wouldn't normally cause this big of a fuss over a stowaway.
Sorry, my ears are no good. And I didn't get a good look at them either. If you're wondering which way they went, they left the city. I wish I'd caught their names. But I didn't hear a thing.
Elle est longue sa quête à Yoimiya, hein.
As it happens, I did.
Moriko.
I was getting some ore from my friend's place and happened to bump into them on the way over. I think their leader's name was Keisuke, just like you said.
Just as I thought. Thanks. If Sakujiro still hasn't made up his mind, those two running into each other won't solve anything. And even worse, there'll be no coming back from it for Sakujiro. We can't let that happen. Come with me. Let's track them down.
Le truc que j'aime bien aussi sur le design de Yoimiya, c'est son espèce de tatouage qu'elle a au niveau du bras. Là, c'est classe. Et hop.
It's Musazaka and his friends. Let's ask.
Hi, Yoimiya. Are the weapons to scare away the great Mujina yokai ready yet?
Oh, Mr. Ryunosuke is making them right now. You can go collect them from my house later.
Aren't you gonna play with us, Yoimiya?
I'm sorry. I have something important to do right now. I'll be back later on. But I'll bring you guys some candy next time. The extra sweet candy, the one you guys love.
Yay! We're gonna get candy!
Also, I wanted to ask you guys something. Did you see a bunch of scary-looking men come by here at all?
Yep, we did. It looked like they were chasing someone. Are they trying to catch a monster too?
No, don't worry. It's all just a big misunderstanding. Be good kids and stay out of trouble, alright? Stay in the city for now, and I'll come play with you after the fireworks start.
We will. We'll be on our best behavior, especially for you, Yoimiya.
It looks like this is the right way. Let's keep going.
Après, le truc qu'il faut aussi savoir, sinon que les voix Jap, en fait, j'ai toujours été habitué aux voix anglaises parce que, genre, Genshin et tout, mais t'avais aussi Xenoblade qui est très japonais. Et pourtant, j'ai toujours eu les voix en anglais, quoi. Notamment le Welsh Cat accent de Nia et de Mio. Par contre, la manette, elle déconne de plus en plus. Hein. Maintenant, c'est genre, elle part comme ça toute seule. De ce côté-là. Très bien. Bonjour.
Sorry, official business. I can't let you pass.
Sakujiro and Keisuke are up ahead, right? We need to talk to them about something.
Didn't you hear me? You're not getting past.
Ugh, what a nuisance! Well, you've only got yourself to blame.
Baston, enfin. Est-ce qu'on peut jouer Yoimiya? Yes.
Fire hazard.
Oh, c'est pas avec des feux d'artifice. Oh, c'est une archère.
Here comes the catch. Time for a light show.
I must withdraw.
Ouais, c'est bon, il y a des renforts. J'aimerais bien voir son ulti en vrai.
Busted. Fire hazard.
I must.
Here comes the fireworks.
Ah, c'est une 5 étoiles, malheureusement, on pourra pas l'avoir.
I must withdraw.
Avec sa compétence, elle s'infuse Pyro. Ouais, mais elle est trop bien. Hein. En plus j'aime bien son design et tout. Là, c'est vraiment Pyro barbare là.
Gotcha.
How dare you impede the work of the Tenryou?
C'est Philos.
You will be punished for your actions. There is nowhere you can escape justice. Not even at the edges of the world.
Look at that. The one with the loudest mouth had the fastest feet. We can't waste any more time on these guys. Let's push on. They should be just ahead.
Yes. Continue d'avancer pour trouver Sakujiro. Il est là.
Your skills with the sword have stagnated, Sakujiro. You should have known that you stood no chance against me in a duel.
I never imagined I'd fall into your hands. If this is to be my fate, I accept it. I have nothing else to say.
But your return says that you finally came around to my point of view.
Whatever you say.
You will return with me to the Tenryou Commission to await your sentencing. The one who made this boat will also be punished.
Wait! It doesn't have to end like this! Don't you have anything else to say to one another?
Hey, I know you. You're Naganahara's girl, who makes the fireworks. I know you like to get involved in other people's business, but stay out of this. It does not concern you.
Elle peut apparaître dans les prochaines matchs, qui sait. Oui, oui, c'est sûr. C'est sûr. Mais on pourra pas la voir dans... à court terme, en tout cas.
It's okay, Yoimiya.
De toute façon, ça va prendre du temps avant d'avoir tout le monde.
Past is the
Ça va
past.
prendre des années. Hein.
Then why did you risk life and limb to get yourself back into
Déjà,
Inazuma?
Kazuha, c'est mort.
Why were you so
Emily,
reluctant
c'est
to
pareil.
leave after you got here? I'll tell you why. This is why. This is the chance you've been waiting for. To talk everything through.
I have nothing to say to him. He's a criminal. I work for the Tenryou Commission. There is never any room for discussion. Out of respect for the friendship we once had, I gave him a chance to fight for his freedom. But his skills with the sword are as disappointing now as they ever were.
What are you talking about? And just who do you think you're kidding? You left all your subordinates back there to guard the road, making sure no one else followed you here. Seems to me like you were hoping for a chance to talk. I can see it in your faces. You both have so much to say, and you're just gonna choose to keep it all inside?
Tuh. Don't flatter yourself. What would you know?
Yoimiya, leave it. It was just my wishful thinking.
No, I won't leave it. I will not stand by and watch when you haven't even done anything. Keisuke, you seem to like settling things with a duel, so let's do it your way. I challenge you to a duel. If I win, then you need to say everything that's in your heart. No more running from your feelings. And the same goes for you, Sakujiro. If I win, you will tell Keisuke exactly why you came back, no matter what the consequences are. You have to tell him everything. If you don't say anything now, you may never have another chance.
Tu prends le navigateur, attendez. Je le réactive. Ok, c'est bon.
Then I'll admit to collaborating with Sakujiro and accept the Tenryou Commission's punishment.
Yoimiya.
I accept. Let's settle this with a duel.
Hadouken!
Sir, we're here to back you up.
Back up? Duels are supposed to be one-on-one! Alright, that's it! Let's help Yoimiya! We can't let her fight them all!
Ah d'accord, oui, moi c'est pas ce que j'appelle un duel, mais bon. On va se débarrasser du menu fretin déjà.
Then teamwork is dreamwork! You're toast! Nice and spicy! Fire hazard! Go Bishop do!
Et putain, il y en a combien là? Il y a tout permis d'inazuma ou...
Game's up. Fun's over.
On l'a fini.
Sir, they are too strong. We need more men.
Stand down.
What?
I thought I told you to stay away. Now stand down.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Young lady, you are just as obstinate as Sakujiro was back then. Why were you so convinced that we had things to say to each other?
Because Sakujiro may not have told me about you when he came back, but he did order a firework from me. Then your parents told me about what happened between you when you were younger. Once I'd heard the story, I realized that the firework meant something special to you both. And that's why I simply refuse to believe that you have nothing to say to each other. Nobody sets off a firework to feel lonely, do they?
The reason I came back is that I felt lost. It wasn't that I'd changed my mind, I just felt that what I'd done in the past was to try to escape from reality. I saw the freedom of Mondstadt, the contracts of Liyue, the wisdom of Sumeru, and the justice of Fontaine. It all left a deep impression on me. I was glad that I'd left Inazuma, but then I happened to hear about the Sakoku decree. I was an escapee, and I was proud of that. What I should have tried to do is take the good things from the outside world and bring them back home.
So that's why you came back? Out of your naive hope of changing the way things are here?
No, I let go of all those delusions of grandeur. I just felt that I never should have run away like that. After all, you never ran away.
Huh?
I don't know about you, but life hasn't been easy for me. But I just had to come back and visit. It was like fate was calling me, and I couldn't ignore it any longer.
Life isn't easy for anyone. I truly worship the Raiden Shogun. Her ideas were my personal creed, and I desired nothing more than to see her will done. But now, my role is to punish violators of the Sakoku decree and confiscate people's visions. It's not what I signed up for when I joined the Tenryo Commission. I do wonder, am I really doing the right thing? The boat is yours.
Huh?
I couldn't make you stay in Inazuma, but that doesn't mean I want to keep you here by force.
What will you say to the higher-ups?
Don't worry about that. I'll handle it. If you want to come back, I hear the process of returning to Inazuma from the outside world is long and complicated, but it can be done. I will lend you my help, but until then, you'll have to wait. And don't kick the bucket on the way out.
Don't worry, Keisuke. I won't. Any chance we can watch the fireworks together?
Maybe next time.
Le bateau de Sal Kujiro s'éloigne dans le silence.
I'll be demoted for sure. It's not like me to give in to childish sentiment like this. I can't explain why I went through with it.
Ce bateau.
It's the one that Sakujiro planned on using for his escape. I asked Yoshitaka and the others to transport it here, citing the temporary contraband storage clause. Forcing Sakujiro to this spot was also something I had planned all along. It's just like you said, Yoimiya. Even though I hadn't fully made up my mind, my actions betrayed my intent.
But I think you did the right thing. And look, now you've managed to resolve the grievance in your heart by talking about it.
I understand now. Thank you. I didn't know you were quite so perceptive. You saw right into what I was thinking.
That's only because I know your parents so well. They're both really nice people, so I didn't think the apple would fall too far from the tree.
I had heard there was a new Naganohara running things these days. Little loud and reckless, maybe, but you live up to the family name. By the way, Naganohara fireworks can reproduce the firework that the two of us set off back then, right? Would you be able to make one for me?
Sorry, no can do. Without the slipper reference, I can't make the same one again. And I'm afraid Sakujiro is the one with the slip.
Ah, I see. Never mind then.
Don't get too down just yet, though. I mentioned that Sakujiro ordered a firework from me, didn't I? I can't make another one, but I'm guessing Sakujiro probably won't be needing his anymore. It'd be a shame for it to go to waste, so I'll make an exception and let you set it off instead.
Thank you very much.
No worries. And don't miss out on the start of the fireworks show.
Yuma Tanui Kisuke part
The
également.
way you took command of that whole situation was amazing!
What can I say? I like to talk. I'm a strong believer in the power of words.
C'est ça qu'elle est bavarde.
If you're not willing to communicate, then the problem just sits there. If you just keep staring at it without doing anything, eventually you'll watch every last opportunity to resolve it slip away before your eyes. Sakujiro and Keisuke can't turn back the clock in their relationship, but that's no reason to live with remorse. Anyway, follow me. I'll bring you to the perfect place to watch the fireworks.
Ah, donc on est à la fin de sa quête.
My pops will set off the firework that I wanted to give to you.
Et on fera ça du coup la prochaine fois parce que du coup, bah, en fait on s'arrête à peu près au même endroit que pour la quête de d'Ayaka. Je pense qu'on s'arrête vraiment à la séquence finale en tout cas. En tout cas, j'espère que cet épisode là vous aura plu. Si c'est le cas, n'hésitez pas à liker, à partager, à commenter, à vous abonner, à activer la cloche. N'hésitez pas à nous rejoindre sur le serveur Discord et également sur le Twitch. C'est là qu'on enregistre tous les épisodes et c'est là qu'on joue notamment, alors un peu moins en ce moment, mais à Mario Kart et tout. Donc n'hésitez pas à nous rejoindre, vous avez tous les liens en description de vidéo. En tout cas, on se retrouve dès demain midi pour la suite de l'aventure. C'était bon classé. Salut, salut.